Well, we're here. This is now the conclusion of my third major as far as recapping goes, and it was an interesting one. Today was the grand finals of the Austin Major. We had Vitality squaring off against the Mongolz, a David versus Goliath matchup if ever there was one. And after the Mongolz roared out to an absolutely unreal lead in the first game, taking Mirage in stunning fashion, it looked like maybe David could actually get the shot off with the slingshot. Unfortunately, while this may not be a parable, it turned out to be history, as Goliath turns out to be much stronger than we all thought. Vitality roared back on Dust 2 and stomped Mongol's hopes and dreams into the dust. They finished the job on Inferno with the exact same 12-6 scoreline and have cemented themselves with the first era in CS2 history. Zywoo one step closer to making it very, very, very hard to argue that he isn't the greatest Counter-Strike player to ever live. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the coverage through the Austin Major. It was a whirlwind effort on my part, and I think throughout I produced some of my best videos to date. I'm ever thankful for you guys enjoying what I do and for you guys giving me this career, and I promise to only get better from here. So make sure you guys join me if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. We are so close to hitting 7,000 subscribers, and I think we could do it just through the duration of this video. Show me one more big push, and I'll be willing to give you guys back that effort in spades. Lastly, before we get started, I would like to thank today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey, a CS2 trading website. You put in the skins that you want to trade, you select what you want, you use my code LionHeartZ for up to $5 off, or click the top link in the description, and boom, new drip.
Nice.
You can also use my code for a 35% deposit bonus if you want to buy with real money. And they have a free section with cool giveaways. So check the top link in the description, use my code to buy 15 Dragon Lores to let them know I sent you their way, and thank you to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. There's no way to short sell it. When we opened up this game on Mirage, it honestly felt like Mongolz were going to be able to do it. I cannot stress that enough. If you didn't capture the game live, if you weren't there watching, it's really hard to like convince you of just the energy that was going through the stadium, going through just the screen. To me at home, me sitting there watching in the Discord with all of our lovely Discord members, Mongolz, they started off so fucking hot that it just, you couldn't help but believe in the storyline that they were going to pull a Boston Part 2, this underdog team floating around the fringes of playoff success. They find the right moment at the major and they roar up and defeat the by far tournament favorites. It was right there. And just the huge momentum moments, Techno's huge clutches on the A side, on the T side, the way they just battle back advantage after advantage. And most importantly, when you look over at the Vitality side, Zywoo is missing. He's having one of his worst maps at the major. He ends that first half with only 9 kills. He doesn't get a single kill in these 6 rounds on the second half. How? How the fuck is that gonna happen? It just doesn't. Zywoo just does not allow himself to play that badly. And there were a handful of moments in that first half where it felt like Vitality were going to find a way to battle back into it, whether it was Mezzy and Rops locking down the B side or getting through one of these A side retakes or what have you. But it just, Vitality started off flat-footed, and in a way that the Mongolz couldn't help but capitalize with their just all-out aggressive in-your-face style. Just keep this imagery in your mind as we go through the rest of this recap. It's like watching a boxing match, or an MMA match to be more specific, where on one side, the Mongolz are pure strikers. They're going to walk in and just swing, and keep swinging, just going for huge knockout blows. They don't really have much defense. They're not very good at grappling. The one thing they don't want to do is get on the floor and wrestle. They just want to knock your shit out. Meanwhile, Vitality are just incredibly well-rounded. They can do a little bit of everything. And worst of all, they can get you onto that map and exploit your weaknesses and choke you out till you can't fight back. Mirage was the Mongolz breaking through that defense and landing haymaker after haymaker. In point of fact of it, I'm surprised the building didn't get torn down when 910 got that ace on the second half. Yes, it was against eco players, but it's against fucking Vitality, one of the best force buy teams we have ever seen. He just hit perfect shot after perfect shot, cleaned it up with the dualies. It was just impossible to not get swept up in the moment. And then we kept cutting to, over on Twitter, the Mongolz would tweet out how, 10,000 fucking people or something like that were watching in the capital of Mongolia in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. as their boys walked out against just unbelievable odds and won the first map. I had a feeling, right? There's no way Vitality played 2 bad maps in a row. It just doesn't happen. They're too good of a team to allow that to happen. There was just no fucking way the Mongols were going to close out on Dust 2, or if they did, it was going to be a close fought game. Zywoo wasn't going to be bad forever. They were going to bounce back in a big way. But fuck me, dude. They straight up put the Mongols in a box, wrapped up in chains, and sunk it to the bottom of the ocean. This CT side on Dust 2 from Vitality was a vice grip. They got their hands around the throat of the Mongols and did not let go. To go back to the MMA analogy, it's like the Mongols kept trying to swing like they did on Mirage, throwing these nightmare hooks, and just one of them missed wide. Vitality grabbed hold of that arm, put them in an arm bar, and did not let go until that elbow popped. Am I running this analogy into the ground? Sure, but I think it works. Follow me. Stay with me. Like, Zywoo roared back to life. 14 kills, 6 deaths on the first half. Rops went 14-8 as well. Mezzi had nightmare B holds, going 11-6. Like, it just, there was nothing the Mongols could do to penetrate this defense from Vitality. One of the few times they managed to get a round on the board on this first half was off the back of insane heroics from Senzu on the B post plant, having to jump into window, push through a Molotov, get a barely won double kill, the 2 players not looking at him, swipe up the op, and take out Mezzi on the back of Plat. Like, that's what they needed, man. They couldn't find any consistency, so they had to rely on the heroics, and their individuals simply hit a brick wall. 9-10, who was so emphatically good on the first map, goes 6-15. Mazzinho goes 6-15 himself. He had some terrible reads where he got way too aggressive, especially on that second half CT side, where he tried to push through for intel and force the position, giving up loud footsteps and just dying for no reason. There was a point where the Mongols were so fucking desperate for any round, they just started making mistakes. They got frazzled, man. They got rocked and couldn't reset no matter how many timeouts they took. It was painful to watch. What this ultimately comes down to is just the difference of experience. This is the first grand finals the Mongols have ever been in at the tier 1 level, and it's the fucking major, and they're playing the team that has won 7 straight titles. What are you gonna do? Because even when Vitality lose a map, they just don't care. They go backstage, they reset, they eat a banana, drink some water, come back out and slap your shit around. It happens every single time. And just, I don't know, man, heading into Inferno, there was a chance that Vitality would continue to be shit on Inferno like they did against Legacy and against Mounds. But the difference is, the opponent they're playing on Inferno, how are you supposed to recover your mental if you're the Mongols? You dominated map 1, got suplexed through 5 tables on map 2, and had to stew on it that you essentially had no chance on your first map that could have won you the major. And they're the youngest team in fucking tier 1 Counter-Strike, in the top 10. They're the youngest team. How are you supposed to brave that mental strain when you're staring down the barrel of elimination against the best team in the world? It's impossible. It's utterly impossible. And then just to drive the knife straight through your heart, you win the pistol round and then lose the second round force buy because Vitality are impossibly good at these second round forces. You get meat grindered on the banana push. Blitz somehow gets a triple kill coming out of a flashbang, comes down to Zywoo in a 2v1, surgical with the 5-7, just wins it flat out. Like, whatever, dude. He's the GOAT, I guess. Like, all right, fair enough. And then guess what? Just to make things even worse, right? It's not like Zywoo just hyper carried and knocked the Mongols out in this 13-6 one-sided game. No, you guys got beat by Mezzi and Apex. Apex dominated the first half. Apex had 14 kills through like 9 rounds. He went 16-5 for the half. Apex, the in-game leader, the man who hasn't been a relevant star player for almost a decade, but time and time and again, Apex has shown up as a absolute demon in grand finals games. He dominated, bro. He wasn't just hitting like good IGL shots. No, he was winning clutches. He won multiple clutches on the CT side. And then what a nightmare game for 9-10, dude. I mean, like, so much so that I wanted to give a guy a hug, bro. I wanted to reach out to 9-10 through the screen and let him know it's gonna be all right. Because how do you have one of the like most important aces of your country's career on the first map and then just miss every other shot you take for the rest of the game, dude? There was one of the rounds, I can't remember the round on top of my head. He's on A side in a 2v2, and he misses 3 super hittable shots on Apex coming out of library, and they lose the round because of it, man. It happened twice. Apex couldn't be shot. He was in the Matrix, dude. How is that fair? The only bit of life the Mongolz had in that T side on Inferno was Mazzino forcing around out of nowhere with a Tech 9 coming out of the apartments on the balcony. But that's what they needed, heroics. Once again, it came down to hero plays was all the Mongolz had. They couldn't find any stability in their defaults. They couldn't win gun rounds to save their lives. It was Jover, bro. It was cooked. This game was over halfway through the first half. And the worst part for me, as just a spectator, right, is I was sitting here working on prepping the video, Game 7 of the NBA Finals starts, and within the first 4 minutes, Tyrese Halliburton blows out his Achilles. Just boom, there we go, Game 7 over immediately. Great. What a lovely way to use my fucking Sunday, god damn it. Anyways, Vitality win. They have the era. Zywoo has 2 majors. Apex has 3 now. He played fantastically. I want to talk a little bit about historical context. Rops has been in 3 straight CS2 majors. He has now won 1 of 3. Rops so far, there's been around 33 S-tier events. I think what Pim said on the desk. 33 S-tier events in CS2's history. Rops has been in 16 grand finals in those 33 events. Holy shit. And he won 11 of them. What a fucking G, man. Someone in our Discord chat said it, and I think it's pretty apropos. Is he like the Olaf Meister of this generation? In terms of just being the ultimate, like, I could do anything man? Like, if we were to tomorrow draft teams from scratch, I'm spending every ounce of my money on Rops first, damn near. Like, that's how valuable of a player he is. And then Apex. I tweeted this out as the game was ending, and I stand by it. Kerrigan is arguably my favorite player of all time. I have been a big proponent that Kerrigan is the GOAT IGL even before he won his major. I was early on that. Like, I was convinced Kerrigan was the GOAT when he got Croman to win a championship. Using Croman as a fucking stand-in and you won a tier 1 title, that was enough for me. Fuck Glaive. Kerrigan's my GOAT. I love you, Glaive. Like, that's not serious. Glaive, you're cool. But at this point, Apex is entering some very uncomfortable conversations because I really never thought there would be another IGL who could firmly compete with those 2 guys. It was Kerrigan and Glaive. You picked one of those, and that was your GOAT. But Apex deserves to be in that conversation. This season is one of the best IGL seasons ever. 7 titles and a major, 7 straight titles. Unbelievable. It will never be done again. It won't. There's too much skill in CS for this to ever happen again. And God, if he wins another major this year, it might not even be arguable anymore that he's the GOAT IGL. Incredible. His career is one of the finest Counter-Strike we'll ever see. And then Zywoo. Alright? Listen. I'm a simple defender. Alright? I can't ignore my bias here. I prefer simple. I like his playstyle better. I think he's more entertaining. I like him better as a personality. However, there is a certain point, there is an Overton window, and if you're a Michael Jordan fan, you know exactly where I'm going with this, where the other guy that's competing with Jordan just gets so many accolades, wins so much, that you can't ignore it anymore. And Zywoo is approaching that territory. If you tell me in good faith, without downplaying simple, that you think Zywoo is the best Counter-Strike player to ever live, I would say that's fair, and I understand the argument. He deserves to be in that class of discussion. I do think, and this is something I might make a video on, once things have calmed down and we get into the player break, that there is some nuance that I think is specifically with the best player of all time. We need to nuance that by game. Whereas, like, with the IGL discussion, IGLing was so primitive in other versions of the game in 1.6 and Source and beyond, that players like Kerrigan and Glaive have a very firm claim to be the best of any version. But with Zywoo, you have to give credit to the star players of previous versions. If we're talking CSGO, Zywoo was simply there too late to accrue the same kind of accolades. Simple is the GOAT of CSGO. Zywoo will almost assuredly, unless Donk wins 7 majors, be the GOAT of CS2, and eventually I think he will accrue enough that it will be inarguable that he will be the GOAT of Counter-Strike. He is on that trajectory, and I cannot fault him whatsoever for what he's achieved, even if I personally do not like his playstyle. Zywoo is an incredible fucking talent, and I would never downplay that. I still wish FaZe played them in the finals. And then for the Mongolz. Hats off to you guys. You have got an entire country to believe in you like few teams ever have. And more so than that, you got the entire world to believe in you. You were one of the most exciting young teams we have. You did your country proud. You did the game of Counter-Strike proud. You guys should be holding your head high as you walk out of Austin, Texas. The Mongolz are one of the most exciting things about this year in Counter-Strike, and they shouldn't do a damn thing but refine the process and come back stronger. You guys have all the pieces to win titles in 2025. It's up to you to figure out what you need to do to make that a reality. Counter-Strike is behind you. The country of Mongolia is behind you. You guys are incredible, and thank you for giving us an exciting grand finals, even if ultimately things petered out at the last moment. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you show me by leaving a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I want to hit 7,000 subscribers by the time this video is done, which means you guys got about 24 hours to make that happen, so get to it. Thank you to Skids Monkey for sponsoring this video. Check the link in the description, go try on their website. Skids Monkey is awesome, go show them some love. Thank you to my channel members, Justin, Jesse Furley, Milan Berta, Bubblesj, Dr. Cocktor, Patatas Kaftesi, PTR, B1 Games, Cody Foxworthy, JesseTiv, Vegt, I'm Flashbang, Snowy White, Rowdy, Vergil'sPlasticChair, SidPro12, and our newest member, LBK. Thank you guys so much. If you want to become a channel member, you can do so in the link in the description down below. $5 a month to get you everything in the video, as well as a custom community role in our Discord. Blah. I'm almost done. Fuck. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be live soon after this video comes out. Peace.